So find the most comfortable position for you, whether that's on the back or the side of your body to begin with, is okay. Make sure that you are warm enough, that you kind of feel supported enough, whether that's with bolsters, blankets, cushions, pillows, blocks. So just going to take another couple of moments for that. For some people, it might be quite easy on some days to just come down to the earth and be like, oh, yes, settle. Other times it might be more challenging. You might feel like it's harder to settle, similar to, you know, when you go to bed at night. Some nights you can just drop straight off. Other nights it feels like this, you know, it's just something that's not quite right, or there's lots in your head. So first, we'll focus on the physical side of getting our body comfortable. And then let's bring awareness to our breath. And we, of course, want our breath to be comfortable as well. So we may breathe deeper or more consciously in Yin Yoga, but we're not forcing air in and out of the body. So you'll feel when you breathe in the kind of maximum capacity of filling up your body. And as you breathe out, the comfortable depth to go to the air to release your body without feeling like it's strained or forced. So perhaps take a couple of deeper breaths now, in through nose, out through mouth. Just explore what your body's capacity is. You can be as loud as you need to be. And then move awareness from the breath, which just becomes natural, up to your mind. So meeting yourself mentally, emotionally, just where you are this evening. Whether that would be, you know, what we might refer to as good or positive, or bad, which is negative. Really, you know, it's just an ever-changing wheel. Just meet yourself where you are. And that might change throughout your practice, just as your breath will change, just as the shape of your body will change. Yin is very much about softening our grip and surrendering. So we slow right down. Perhaps this evening, notice whether your natural instinct and your urge is speed. So when we're coming in and out of shapes, is it to just kind of like, right, yeah, get myself in this shape, right, get myself out? Or can you make a conscious decision? Perhaps part of your intention is intentional movement itself. So we don't just move for the sake of it. We try not to fidget. There's intention behind how we move, where we move. A different way to look at intention in Yin could be to work with an intention. In Yoga Nidra, we call it Sankalpa. In other practices, we call it mantra. Maybe you have a word, a sentence that brings you back to being present. As a still and slow practice, sometimes you might find the mind drifts away. How do we draw it back? It will be different for everyone. Starting to bring a little bit of movement into your face. And our practice of yin is holistic. It's very much about touch, feeling things out. So it might be that you touch areas of the body, you gently massage areas of the body, you're exploring and experiencing. Bring a little bit of movement then into the neck by perhaps just shifting the head from side to side slowly. Which is also very much about finding your edge. So where you meet sensation, but you don't need to go over that. Start to bring some movement into the fingers, the wrists, the toes, the feet, the ankles. Up to you. You might feel drawn to have a little stretch out, you might not. And then you might bring it all in, you might not. So really take your time. Come on to the back of your body if you're not there already. And it can be a good practice to have a bolster close by. In some positions, using a bolster will make the shape more restorative, but this isn't restorative yoga. So really it's up to you how much sensation you may or may not experience, how much closer you are to a restore practice than maybe you are to a yin practice. And this is evident in one of our first shapes, which is going to be a twist. So we're going to press the feet into the earth just to help us direct ourselves into our twist. Take your bum and just shuffle it over to the left of the body and drop your knees to the right. So if you've got your bolster there is that bit of resting point, and there is nothing wrong with that. There may be less sensation, but if you want that, that is fine. If you don't have your bolster there, then you might find the angle of the twist is slightly greater. Explore where you put your knees. So give yourself 10, 20 seconds at the beginning of each shape, just to see. Do I want a prop? Do I not want one? Do I want to lift this higher, lower, closer, further away? And then find the shape that you feel is going to be okay for you. In this case, it's going to be for 2 minutes. We're going to build up to 3 minutes, perhaps even 4 minutes. Once you feel you are in that shape, take a breath in and out. Soften right to the edges of the body. And the intention here is to stay in the shape with stillness. So we want to keep upper body on the earth if we can. So shoulder blades on the earth. Nice. Keep the breath just slowly flowing. Maybe that isn't your focus point. It's there in the background anyway. Nearly halfway there. Perhaps your eyes are closed or your gaze is very soft. There's nothing to see. very much more about how things feel, the sensations we might be experiencing, than what our shape looks like. Last couple of breaths. And see if you can slowly start to bring the knees back to center. Place the feet on the earth. Take a deep breath. So that moment to reground. And then in this practice, we're going to have rebound. So rebound is what comes after. Maybe for you, it's just to be completely still. Often it's just kind of guided by intuition. So the body or the mind's knowing, maybe I just want to rock a little bit here. Maybe I want to spread out. I'm going to take 30 seconds. There's no right or wrong. Rebound could be that you gently massage a space where the sensation felt quite strong. Place the feet back down onto the ground. We're going to go to the other side. So slowly shuffle your bum to right. Let the knees drop to left. Again, take that time. So is there something I need to add? Is there something I need to take away? Let the shoulders meet the earth. You might spread the arms out. The floor is chilly, so you might choose to pop the hands onto the rib cage with bent elbows. When you feel you are in the place that is right for this side of the body, take a nice deep breath in and out. And with that out breath, just letting yourself settle. An intention to bring stillness to body, perhaps an intention to bring a bit of stillness to mind. Nearly halfway there. And you will find that for you, some shapes will feel maybe a little bit more restorative, more relaxed. And other shapes feel much more yang than they do yin, so much more challenging, more active or fiery. Everyone's experience will be different. As slowly as you can, draw the knees back to center, plant the feet to the earth, take that breath to just reground. And then what, if anything, feels right here? No right or wrong answer. And how we feel that we want to move has many different factors to it. It could be what you've been up to today, whether you've been kind of busier with your movement, more active, or you've been more still. It could be to do with any trauma that you might hold physically or emotionally. From here, we're going to roll over onto the side of the body. Let's take it to our left side, which is our yin side, passive energy. Taking your shoulder all the way up, so literally you're snuggling up on the side of the body. And you're welcome to stay in any position that feels good for you, any shape for longer. So in some teachings, some of our shapes, you can stay in for kind of 20, 30 minutes. I would, advise caution with that. If you have been practicing yin for years and you're really in tune with what shapes work, yeah, maybe if you're at the start of your journey, I wouldn't crack on with 30 minutes just in a single shape. Let's push into the earth, slowly press our way. And we're going to take right leg in front of left leg. So we could stay here, this would be fine. If you do find that you've got a rounding or the knees are high, I'd maybe sit on your blanket or on your flat block. If you want to explore a different shape, and there is like no better, there's no worse, there's no like final of anything, you could start to creep your soles of your feet. So you're making a square shape here. So literally it's called square pose. So if I look originally, I'm in a kind of triangle with my knees. If I creep them across, then I'm in a square position. I'm not going to stay here because honestly, it's really not comfortable and I don't want to be like, ooh. You could take your top foot, but we'd want to keep it in a square position. So this isn't half lotus. Like for me, my right thigh is like, I'm okay. We might fill the gap. See, that would be more comfortable. And we're flexing the feet a little bit. So we could be here. Think about, do I want to be here for 3 minutes? My mind would say no, but your body might say, yeah. And we're going to take it into a forward fold. So general rule of thumb will be dependent on whether you work better with internal or external rotation with your hips. Some people work with both. When you fold forward, you will either feel like, oh, that's a relief, or you might feel the opposite way. You're like, oh, that's strong. So find the leg position first. And as you fold forwards, you might want to use a bolster. Just let the hands come out wide. So we all want to take our feet so they're much closer. If we're like here, we're going like all the way here. So we look down and we see a square. If that feels comfortable. If not, we stay here. I'm scooting over to you. Pardon? I can manhandle you. I know you. Yeah, that's if you can lift it on here, that's nice. Look under here. If not, perhaps close the eyes, soften the face and the shoulders. Keep working those soles of the feet further away from the center of your body, so you're creating more of a square shape. We're halfway there. Keep a little flexion to the feet. And we don't have to stay in any shape. So wherever you are, usually our halfway point, or when we have a minute left, we're kind of like, let me just feel it out. Did I dive in too deep here? And I just need to work my way back? Or, you know, did I err on the side of caution and now there's a little bit more space for me to have a little bit of a shufti around? Last minute here. Just unclenching the teeth and unfurrowing the brow. Last few breaths. If we can, we don't rush away from it in a moment. If the sensation is strong, that is fine. This is where we differ from restorative yoga. If we go over strong into, oh, that just hurts, then we draw back. Slowly, if you fold it forward, start to lift the upper body. Maybe if you've stacked the leg, you use the hands to take it away. And we're going to step the feet out to the width of the mat. So we'll just take it nice and slowly. We've just turned outwards with the hips. So now as a little counter pose, we'll turn in. We'll take the fingertips back behind us. We'll let the knees knock inwards. It might feel nice for you to lift and open your heart. It might feel nice for you to just take the knees slowly from side to side, like the slowest of slow that you've ever slowed. Bring the chin to the chest, walk yourself forwards, continue your rebound. It might be extending the legs. And then we're going to go for the other side. So we never expect that the opposite side is going to be the same. We have a dominant side. We might have a side that, you know, we carry bags on. For me, I've broke one foot, so then I became quite a heavy user of my other foot and my other knee. So crossing left in front of right. Do we want to stay with this kind of pointy knee, wider knees scenario, or do we want to start taking the knees a little bit closer together so we look down and there's almost a square? There is an option to pick that left foot up. Whew. Maybe we fill the space. And as we breathe out, we start to fold forwards. So give yourself that time, 10, 20 seconds. What do I need on this side? What don't I need? And then once you get there, nice deep breath in and out. And apply as much softness as you can. So maybe this is just the softness of the face, of the shoulders, of the fingertips. Is the sensation particularly strong in a certain area of the body? And we're totally in control. So If the sensation is too strong, we might think, right, I need a prop, I need to move, back away from this. If the sensation isn't quite there and we're looking for something that there's a little bit more feeling to it, then we're in control there. We might take a prop away. We might take a breath in, and then as we breathe out, see if there's further space that we can shift into. Halfway there. Our last minute here. So is there anything that we would change or adjust about where we are? Or are we kind of in that sweet spot? Last couple of breaths here. And slowly lifting up the body. Taking our time to release the legs. And we're going to make our way onto hands and knees for a little bit of a rebound. So take your time. If you have sensitive knees, then I would say hop a blanket across. We come into tabletop. I'm just going to shift our weight from side to side, just shifting the hips. If we had a longer practice, or if you kind of followed the same thing at home, then a nice rebound would be to sit back in our hero pose. So we're turning everything inwards then, where we're just in outwards. We're going to move to upper body. So hands stay where they are. We start to walk the knees backwards. Knees and hips stay in line. Let's drop the elbows to the earth, let the bum point to the sky. And we could be here, that would be fine. Maybe we take a block. Just let our head soften. Or you might slide the fingertips towards me. The elbows don't lift away from the earth in this version. Maybe in some classes where people tell you to do that, then you may want to follow that or not. So the bum stays nice and high. It's like the heart space is drifting down towards the ground. A back bend, a heart opener, really getting into our upper body energy lines that exist through the torso, the arms, the palms of the hands, the tips of the fingers. If this feels like it's quite a lot of weight through the armpits, maybe you take the elbows slightly wider, or maybe you catch hold of opposite arms. Another option is to let the bolster take a little bit of your weight, so you kind of bring it just above the line of your bust, and then let your upper body rest on it. Nice deep breath in and out when you're there, when you feel that you've kind of found that spot that is going to be okay. Nearly halfway there. So the exhales here almost feel like they come up and out of the heart space in towards there. And as we come towards that final minute, perhaps we just take a moment to consider, has this become a little bit too intense? In which case we could come back into tabletop, we could push the bum to the heels and come into our child's pose, we could come to a seat. Maybe we're in the right space for us right now. Maybe there is space just to allow for more surrender. Last couple of breaths here, done really well. So nice and slowly, we start to walk the hands back in towards us. Just remove your bolster to the side if you have it there. Come back into a tabletop position. We're going to come into a standing position. It's really the only standing position I can think of in Yin Yoga. If you can't be bothered to stand, just stay where you are and I'll show you a seated version. If you're going to come to stand, just step 1 foot forward. You might use your bolster or use your block and then step the other foot forward. Feet will come perhaps even as wide as your mat. We'll breathe in, just come up onto the knees. And as we breathe out, the knees stay soft. It's like we bring the belly towards the thighs. The head is heavy. Maybe the fingertips or backs of the hands meet the earth. So a nice little counter pose because we're rounding the spine. If you'd rather be on the back of the body, you'd extend the legs out in front of you and fold into caterpillar. So basically, that's the seated version. We only take a minute here in the standing version because it's an inversion, so we're placing head below heart. You could spend much longer in the seated version in caterpillar if you wish. Halfway there. If you have any dizziness, if your legs feel like just a little bit weak in your standing, then just gently start to bring yourself to the earth. Step 1 foot back and the other. If you are standing, then just gently start to step 1 leg back, drop the knee, step the other back, drop the knee. We'll come onto our hands and knees. So again, if you were practicing at home, we are going to do a version of this, but there's different versions where we can make it easier. So we could come into a squat from here into Malasana, or if it's not lazier, because, you know, they both do the same thing, we're going to come into a squat, but which is our backwards happy baby. So take yourself onto the back of the body. If you want to be in a squat, you can be in a squat. If you think that you can be in a squat for 3 minutes, otherwise, we'll come down onto the back of the body. We're going to hold the backs of the thighs. And we're just gently drawing the thighs in towards us. Another way we could work with this is using a strap behind the thighs. We could use, you'll have a strap just to the side of you. If you haven't, let me know. You could use a strap over the arches of the feet. And we don't want to wrap the strap and like pull it down. That would be very yang. We just gently hold the strap. We'll drop our shoulders and maybe our elbows, yeah, nice to the earth. So we've got that element of it being a little bit more yin. We keep a bend in the knees, else we're coming into something else called leg to the sky. Another way we could work with our squat is up against a wall. So yin up against a wall is just an amazing way of exploring the shapes that sometimes might be out of our grasp otherwise. Nearly halfway there. So I would call this, and especially if you've just taken a little bit of time in Malasana and Garland or seated squat, these are more active yin shapes. So these are like really not like restorative yoga. As we come to the last minute in this shape, is there more space somewhere, more surrender? Do we feel actually we need to take it back a little bit? Completely up to you. And again, it might be that we kind of work up to things. So we might work on this version for 3, 6 months, a year, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Then we might come to our seated version, our squat. So it's just practice and a lot of patience, really. Last couple of breaths. Slowly release hold of whatever you have as you exhale, bring the feet to the earth. So give yourself that breath of grounding. And then, is there anything or nothing that you feel might be nice here? It might be a stretch out, it might be just a little roll, it might be stillness. You decide. It could be a combination of multiple things. And then just really slowly roll back to your left side and come to a seated position just to grab anything that you might need, have a sip of your drink, bring your blankets close by and have a block, so one of these brick blocks just next to you, because we'll use that for our shape on the earth. So take your time, gather what you need next to you, and we'll come down onto the back of the body with feet to the earth, just allowing the whole of the spine to come to the earth as well. Feet about hip distance apart. Just experience that for a few breaths when you're ready. And there's an option, of course, from here to just not do anything else. If you feel like, yeah, you know, that's good for me, I'm going to stop here. You can. Otherwise, we're going to come into a supported version of bridge. So in yin, we would use our lowest support. It could even be the blanket. If you have any lower back issues or sensitivity, you might want to use a blanket because it's softer. We press down through the feet. Just tilt the hips to the sky. Maybe we need to come onto our tiptoes, see how you feel. Slide the block, the blanket, whatever your little bit of prop is, underneath the very low part of your spine. It is actually nice if you practice at home, if you use a pillow. These bolsters are quite heavy to drag over, but a bolster, again, is like, nice. So let the weight of your body just drop into whatever is beneath you. Adjust it if you need to. If you feel like I'm not really finding a place that feels okay, then just raise your hand, wave. We can have a little play around. We'll let the Shavasana siren go by and then we will continue. So we're going to take 3 minutes here, but we're going to explore different variations. So one could, of course, be this. Another one could be sliding the legs down onto the mat, resting on your heels. So if you feel great where you are, why not just stay there? If you want to try something, give it a go. If you feel like when you get there, it's not really for me, reverse that. Really nice kind of shape of surrendering. Just trusting that our body will melt into the earth. Something else we could try here is legs to the sky. So we would come back with our feet to the earth. You might bring one knee in towards you, then the other. Just pause for a moment there. You could stay there. So in this little kind of tuck position, or you could start to extend the legs up towards the sky. So again, this is where working with a wall is amazing. And this is just a great one you could practice at home. If you use a wall, you kind of need to army roll it sideways because you want your bum to be as close to the edge of the wall as possible. If that doesn't serve you and where you are before did, reverse backwards for this last minute. And from where you are, perhaps it means you need to lower feet to the earth. Perhaps it means you need to step your feet inwards. Just bit by bit, as slowly as you can. Eventually, we're at the point where we push the feet to the earth and just raise the spine slightly. We take away what's there, push it to the side. And what feels good for you here? Very natural instinct is to kind of take the knees from side to side because you've just been working with lower back. But it might be that you stretch the legs out, you draw the knees in, whatever it is, can we just go that little bit slower? And then for another minute, is there anything else that you would like to explore? Keep that yin mindset with you, that our movement has intention behind it. More than just creating shapes, we're moving energy. We're working really quite deep into our physical and emotional body when we practice yin. I'm just starting to set yourself up for Shavasana. Do you need blankets? Do you need the bolster? If you find that you tilt your head back, so chin comes up towards the sky, you can always put the flat block or one of your blankets behind your head. Do you want the eye pillow to cover the eyes, or maybe just to pop it on the forehead to operate as a little bit of weight? If you're right well into your yin practice, you might have a look at getting sandbags. They can just really be amazing in lots of different positions in opening the body. So take your time. You don't have to be on the back of your body. You could be on the side of your body. And when you get there, take a nice deep breath. Release from everything that came before this. Bring awareness to the soles of your feet. The tips of your toes. The heels of your feet. Offer them rest. Bring awareness to the ankles, the lower legs, the kneecaps, and the backs of the knees. Offer them rest. Bring awareness to your thighs and to your glutes. Offer them rest. Awareness to the hips, into the groin space. Offer it rest. A slow awareness travels from base of the spine to the neck. Offer it rest. Over the shoulders, down the upper arms, the inner and the outer elbows as you offer them rest. The lower arms, the wrists, the hands, each fingertip, each thumb tip. Offer it rest. back of the head, all the way past the crown of the head and into your face, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the chin, even the inner mouth, offer it rest. The throat space, collarbones, down past the breasts, into the rib cage, down into the belly, offering your body rest. The whole of your body, upper, lower body, front, back of body, sides of body, even right down to the inner workings of your body, organs, cells, tissue, muscle, allowing everything to settle. Exactly where you're meant to be. Just enjoying as best you can. The softening, the surrendering, the rest. Beginning to deepen your breath. And now becoming aware of the sound of the chime. Perhaps keep the eyes closed, but start to bring some gentle movement to the face, the head and neck, the fingers and toes. And as you hear the sound of the bells, you'll call to gently reawaken. Rolling right or left, stay close to the earth. Maybe the eyes stay closed as you push into the earth. Just push yourself. Find a comfortable seat. You might stay snuggled in your blankets. Take a deep breath. Well done. Maybe the hands meet pressed on the heart space. Maybe they meet pressed together in Namaskar. And an opportunity just to close our practice with a chant of Om. So Om is the universal sound. It's one of connection. You don't have to chant Om. You could hum. It doesn't matter what you sound like. This is about vibration. We take a breath in a moment, and as we breathe out, we inhale. Nice deep breath in. Breathe out, bow chin to chest. Thank yourself. Body, breath, mind, perhaps spirit and soul, if that's your belief. Thank each other. And thank you for trusting me to guide you. Have a peaceful evening. The light and dark in me honors the light and dark within you.